What does cis mean? Cis is not an insult. The word cis is a prefix. Like trans is a prefix. Trans means on the other side of, like transatlantic flight or transporting something from one place to another. The sauces are on opposite sides of the tray. So you would have to go across the tray to get from one sauce to the other. Like transport. You'd have to transport the sauce to get to the other side. That's what trans is. Cis is the opposite. It means on the same side of. When you're born, the world assigns you a gender. They say, you have a certain set of parts. For me, you're a boy. You have a P, that makes you a boy. Some people, they say, oh, you have a V, that makes you a girl. We know that usually when someone has a V, they're most likely gonna be a girl. What if you're born like me with a P, but you realize one day that you're not a boy? I went from one end of the tray to the other. Transgender.
All right, guys, so we got to react to a TikTok that is going super duper mega viral of a transgender food influencer who is going to post a video of all the times that this influencer got misgendered at a restaurant by a server. And apparently this is something that is very hurtful to this person. They don't like it. They don't like it so much that they're setting up cameras to try to catch servers misgendering them and then calling management on servers for misgendering them. And I want to react to it because this is honestly kind of getting out of hand in regards to what's happening in our society. And again, it's just a pretty fascinating thing to witness. Okay, there's so much to say about this. So I want to react to it, but you know, I got to give a disclaimer, like all the times where I react to this type of content. This is not hate. This is not a personal attack. Okay, this video really has nothing to do with this influencer as a person as much as it has to do with just what they're doing. Okay, and how I believe that this is not a good thing for society when you have people that are trying to punish servers for simply trying to do their job or for making a mistake. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and react to this video.
It looks like he's having a nice feast.
She, her.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all good.
But it was not all good.
Hi. I use she, her pronouns. I'm not sir. Oh, sorry. Yeah, like it's like a knife in the heart. I did specifically ask ahead of time not to be called sir. Yeah, I'm just gonna go. Okay. The Sweetwater starts at okay.
I'm so sorry. I apologize.
It's just always like a knife. It always hurts every single time. I was wondering if there's a manager I could talk to about something that happened. Yeah, I was called sir. Oh, okay. It just really sucks every time it happens. Sorry about that. I don't need to be called ma'am. I just need to not be called sir, you know? Thank you. Did you call me sir? I just want to tell you that the person who gave me this called me sir.
What?
Called me sir.
Oh.
It's just like, it kind of just hurts a lot to get called sir.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay.
Very good. Thank you so much. No, oh, yeah. Thank you. I'm not a sir. Nothing like a good misgendering. It is a knife in the gut when I get called sir. I feel like I need to tell him. I need to tell him that hurt. It hurts more when it's not intentional because it means like this is sir to him. I know you didn't mean it, but I'm not a sir.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I know you didn't mean it. It's just, you know, it hurts. I know when people clock me, it's fine, but like it does kind of hurt. Thank you. I'm not sir.
Oh, sorry.
Not sir. Not sir. The guy who dropped the food off, he called me sir twice in a row.
Okay. I'll let him know that and GM as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that, right? You seen that, you heard that. Shaking my head. Shaking my damn head, okay? Like, that's really the initial reaction because this person acknowledges that, you know, these individuals, these servers are making honest mistakes, right? They don't mean to hurt your feelings. They're just going off of their gut instincts, right? What they see, which to this person, they're shocked that these servers are looking at them and not seeing what this person thinks they should see. Which, you know, hey, I'm just saying, maybe, just maybe, that should tell this person something about how society perceives their identity, okay, and what they look like, right? That, hey, maybe, just maybe, you know, you're still presenting in a way, regardless of what you do, that comes off as masculine to people who are not trans or who are not, I guess, you know, well-versed in wokeism, okay, in woke terminology or woke lifestyle or whatever, right? So despite knowing that some of these servers are making an honest mistake, now some of them are probably just like, you know what, I'm just going to call you what I see you as, regardless of what you want to be called. I'm sure that happens sometimes, but I'm sure most of the time it's an honest mistake because, again, these servers don't want to really upset people, right? Their incentive is to not upset people, okay? Now, I know in some parts of Europe, I believe that this influencer was in some parts of Europe. They don't really tip. They don't have a tipping culture, so it may be a little bit different. But, you know, generally in the United States, right, like servers, they're incentivized to treat you well, or at least attempt to. Now, it doesn't happen all the time, but they're incentivized to not piss you off, because they don't piss you off, then there's a higher chance that they're going to get a better tip, right? That's just kind of how it works. So I don't think that these servers are doing it on purpose, but despite the fact that this influencer knows that they're not doing it on purpose, they still decide to call the manager or management on a server who simply made an honest mistake. But yet these are the people that want everybody else to be tolerant, but yet they don't want to express any type of tolerance or understanding that, hey, maybe, just maybe, you know, 98% of the rest of society, they're not on board with, you know, your worldview, right? They don't necessarily agree with your reality, and it's not something that they're used to. They're not trying to hurt your feelings. They're not trying to be transphobic. They're not purposely misgendering you. They're simply trying to do their job, and they're basically calling it like they see it. And in some cases, you can have a situation where a server may informally refer to a group of people, regardless of, you know, their sex. They may refer to them, hey, what can I get you guys? What can I do for you guys? Again, that happens all the time. Okay, where you may call a group of women guys, not because you're misgendering them or because you see them as men. That's just a common phrase or common word that we use to refer to a group of people. We would say, hey, you know, how can I help you guys? Right? It's very informal. It's not misgendering or anything like that. That's just what happens. But to me, when you can't accept an honest mistake, when you have to go to the point where you're basically trying to get the employee in trouble for making an honest mistake, that shows that you're not exhibiting the tolerance that you claim that you want, right? I mean, tolerance have to go both ways. If you want people to tolerate and accept your lifestyle, you have to tolerate and accept that everybody's not going to tolerate and accept your lifestyle, or everybody's not going to know what to call you when they first see you. And this person clearly knows that, because they set up cameras every time they sit down and eat for the whole point of trying to catch servers misgendering them, and then going on the internet and acting surprised that they're being misgendered, when the only reason you would set up a camera to record yourself is if you know somebody's going to misgender you. So you already know that clearly you have traits, or you're presenting things that make people who are not well versed in your reality see you as you know, a male, right? Or a guy. Like, you know that, right? If you didn't know that, then you wouldn't be setting up cameras to catch servers misgendering you. Clearly, you know, just looking in the mirror, that, okay, there are people that are going to misgender me. Otherwise, why would you set up a camera to do this? Why would you do it? But it's really damned if you do, damned if you don't, because we all kind of know how this works. Some of these people, they're non-binary. So, you know, depending on what side of the bed they wake up in the morning, they may refer to themselves as a boy or a girl, right? Just depends. Who knows? Okay. Just depends on how they're feeling that day. So it's impossible for me to know how to refer to you when it kind of flips, right? When it may or may not, be one thing or another just based off how you feel that day. And you can't punish people for not knowing, right? And again, this is something that happens to me. I don't get misgendered because, again, this is not my lifestyle, right? But my name is Greg. People always call me George. When you guys send me emails, you call me George, right? In the comments, you call me George. And it's like, well, my name is not George, but do I get hurt and offended by it? No, it's an honest mistake. Greg and George are easily mixed up. I know that, right? So therefore, I'm not going to punish somebody for simply getting it wrong. Half the time, I don't even go out of my way to correct people because it's not even worth the energy of being mad and upset about an honest mistake, right? But again, in some parts of our society, we have people that get hurt by any little thing, right, that they see as some type of microaggression or some type of slight towards them, even though it's not. And I think that's one of the biggest issues that we have in our society is that we're not as tough as we used to be. People are boohoo, whining, crying, breaking down in tears, trying to ruin people's lives over honest mistakes because they got hurt because somebody was not well versed in their reality of the world, right? And what they want to be called. Okay. No, I mean, it's not like you're wearing a name tag that tells people what you want to be called. And even if you were, some people are just not going to get on board with it, right? If some people, if they know, right, or they have reasons to believe that, hey, you are biologically a man or a woman, that's just what people are going to refer to you as because that's just their belief. And that's something that you have to accept in a society that, hey, for the most part, people still adhere to traditional understanding of sex. That, if you have an XY chromosome and you're born with a penis, you're male. XX chromosomes, you're born with, a vagina. Then you're a woman, you're a female. Most people still believe in that. Most people, hey, they don't necessarily want to get on board with all this extracurricular stuff that is being forced on us by the far left. And again, you have to accept that, right? But what I find to be fascinating is that these are the same people who will get upset when women say, hey, I don't want to be called a birthing person, okay, or cis. But no, they will actually insist that, no, you need to accept that. Right? You have to accept being labeled a birthing person or cis, right? You have to be tolerant of us and our beliefs, right? Which is why you must accept being called these things that you don't want to be called. But then when they get misgendered or call something that they don't want to be called, nah, we don't have to be accepting of the fact that for most of human history, this is how people referred to people, right? We don't have to accept that. We don't have to tolerate it, right? In fact, if you misgender us, we're going to ruin your life. It's unacceptable. But again, they don't give that same grace to women who don't want to be referred to as cis or as birthing person or whatever they want to call, biological women for the purposes of inclusivity. It's really fascinating stuff. It really is. I don't think it's right to call the manager on employees who are making an honest mistake when it comes to this whole misgendering thing. I think these people, if they really want to be accepted, if they really want more tolerance, they need to learn how to be accepting and more tolerant first, and then maybe they will get that same grace extended to them. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.